They will say that I have shed innocent blood. What's blood for, if not for shedding? With my hook for a hand, I'll split you from your groin to your gullet.
Alright, welcome back to the channel. He is finally here. Daniel Robital, also known as Candyman, played by Tony Todd. Man, I've been wanting this figure in my collection for the longest, and it is finally here. This is the prototype. Production is still going on with this figure. With this whole set. Long time coming, but it's going to be well worth it for those who are involved. I believe this will make history in the 1/6 scale hobby. One being that this character is very rare in the horror genre. We don't see too many horror characters that are iconic horror characters that are black. We did have Blackula in the 70s, and the next one to come up after that was Tony Todd as Candyman, and that's what struck me to go see this film, because I was, I'm always a huge fan of Freddy, Myers, and Jason, but when I was told that this guy comes and kills you after he calls your name, you call his name 5 times in the mirror. When I found out that, damn, it's a brother that's sitting there killing folks, I was like, okay, well, shit, let me go see what this is about. And instant classic. The 2 films that came after that was kind of, bougie, but that's what happens when folks go out and try to get a cash grab and not really have love for the film or the character. Just recently they put in the theaters the continuation of Candyman some 30 something years later after the first film. So you need to watch the first film again, then watch the new one, and everything will make sense. The movie was excellent. I'm hoping that it opens the door to do a third one, and that a particular actor has more screen time, and for those who've seen the film. But yeah, I went around in the hobby asking, different artists, hey, would you be willing to take on Candyman? And just none seemed to be interested. And I told them, ahead of time, I was like, hey, look, if you do this, this is going to be a masterpiece. It's going to even, expand your catalog even more. But no one really wanted to take into it. So I, once again, had to do what I needed to do. And overall, this set is absolutely amazing. I'm blown away with it. The details, the clothing. I added Helen into the package. I just felt like, can we just do Candyman alone? But no, you have to do his prize. I mean, he's wanted her from the time that, she called his name. So it's like you had to throw her in there. And I was like, if we're going to do Helen, we're going to have to do Helen how she was at the end scene. But we'll get into that later. The individuals involved in helping me with this project, they absolutely amazing. They will be announced later in the video. But the one who truly got the main ingredient right was Jay. His talents on doing Tony Todd's sculpt was amazing. The likeness is just there. I mean, the expression, everything. So with that, let me stop babbling. Let's just take a look at the head sculpt. All right, as you can see, the expression of Tony Todd, the sadness and the look of Daniel. I mean, it's just amazing. One, it's Tony Todd 100%. To the expression that he gave Daniel, he wanted to make sure that, it had some type of sadness to it because, it ties direct to his story on how he was murdered. So, we had a couple of ideals in our head. Do we put a tear, in his eyes, or, do we just give him a sad expression? And I said, yeah, let's go with the sad expression, because he never really did. I mean, he cried, I think, one time in the film. But if we want to go with a look, we need to just go with a sad expression. And he nailed it on the first try at the sculpt. He nailed it. There was really no modifications at all. He nailed it on the first time. Anytime that you can do a sculpt and you have an ideal, you're looking at photo references and you take your time and you get it done right the first time. Not only that did he did it the first time, but when he painted it, he got the skin tone down pat. I mean, it's hard to paint black people. I'm gonna put that out there right now. It's very hard to do. And he got the skin tone down perfect. He matched the body, Tony Todd skin tone. It's just absolutely amazing. I have been told through close friends that he has seen this figure. He did see my Instagram and he liked it, but he has seen this figure and he loves it, and one is going out to him. So I hope that he enjoys it. We're gonna get photos with him holding it and everything, so stay tuned for that. Again, I don't know why no one really wanted to take on this project. I don't know. I see what's coming out, and a lot of good things are coming out, but some of it is just kind of repeats, and it's like this has never really been done before. Shout out to one. He did one way back in the day. Other than that, no one's really ever tackled this character, and his story obviously needs to be told. It needs to be it's very rare, and I'm glad I went on ahead and got this taken care of. So Jay did a phenomenal job with the sculpt. And now we can look at the queen of tailoring, Yunsel, and see what she did with this outfit. Okay, now the outfit. Let's get into the story about that. So this is a actual revision. It's not the original prototype. The original prototype is here. The very first jacket that was made. The photo that we gave Yunsel, she matched the color perfect, but the actual fabric used was not really what we were looking for as certain collectors, you know, some OGs in the hobby. Shout out to Robert Terrell, who noticed that, you know, the fabric just wasn't exactly how it was in the film, and that we wanted to get, you know, something better. So Yunsel went on ahead and did her research, and she basically had this material as well. So she had both materials, but she felt that the one that I just showed you matched exactly with the photo that we gave her, which is true. It matched exactly what we wanted. But again, she wanted to go with this one initially. But she was like, hey, they showed me this photo. The color is right. The fabric looks close to it, so let's go with this one. So after, you know, us putting our heads together, we decided to go with this one. Because when you watch throughout the film, you see the material. It's much thicker, more texture to it. So we hit a home run with that. And it looks way much better. Fits the same, but it looks way much better. The pants were nothing but black and white squares, but very small. And then you would have the scarf that goes around the neck. And that's really it. That's really it of the whole outfit. In the film, he did not show that he had a shirt on underneath the jacket. Only in the second and the third films you see him with a shirt underneath the jacket. But we're going based off of the first film. And in the first film, you don't really see a shirt. You'll see a glimpse of the shirt when he's getting ready to open up his jacket to expose his chest with the bees and all. But he did not have a shirt the entire time, so we went without that. I think overall the outfit is a 10 out of a 10. It took a while for us to sit here and say, well, which one do we want? Do we want, you know, the one that she did, or do we want this one? And I think we nailed it with this one. So glad she was on board with this one. Her schedule is becoming so full right now that it's taken almost 2 years now just to get a clothing run done. So my time with her is coming to an end, and I know that's a sad thing to say, but her schedule is it's getting drenched with unnecessary stupid runs, but we're not even going to get into that. Everybody can do what they want to do, but yeah, her schedule's just getting backlogged, and it's end of an era is coming where it's sad to say I won't be working with Yunsel anymore after my projects that I have still in works. But I love it. Yeah. So now let's see. Let's dig into that hook there. I know everybody's been looking at it. Let's get into that. All right. So now we got the famous hook for a hand. So a friend of mine digitally sculpted the stump that goes on the right arm of the figure, and he also designed the hook that fits right in between two bone fragments of his hand. The nails are to keep it in place. And there is rope that goes around the bone fragments as well that we'll be adding to this piece as well. But here you can see it. The way that this is designed for the figure is magnets. So basically, you can easily take it out just like that. And then you can easily slide it right back in, and then the magnets do their job, holds it in place. That way you can move the hook or the stump any way, any direction that you want freely. But yeah, those are real nails. Paint app was done by Viola. She did an amazing job with that. Look at that. It's right in between those two bone fragments. Screen accurate. If you go back and look at the scene when he first met Helen, you'll see him raise his right hand, and you got to pause it, but it's exactly the way that we wanted it. Now, the piece of all pieces, the chest piece. And we're going to just do this. We're going to take him. We're just going to move him over here to the side. And then we're going to show off this bad boy here. Again, a friend of mine did the digital sculpt on this. Whatever that is. Now, we wanted to have this piece sculpt on the body and go with that, but to do these bees, I mean, it's difficult, very difficult. And the best way to really get the detail on them was to go digital sculpt and to print them. And the printer, high definition printer, captured the detail of the bees. And Viola, once again, she painted this set and did an amazing job on it. So you can see through the rib cage, you can see the heart, the lungs. Look at the detail on the bees. Look at the wings. So we wanted it to be silicone. And the artist that was the lazy artist that was helping us do that project, he just was a lazy SOB and a waste of our time. So we ended up going resin with it, because if we try to do silicone, the wings are not going to hold when you try to pull the piece out. They're going to break. And it's just going to mess the mold up. So we had to go resin. We had to go full 3D print just to get that detail. And look at that. The bees covering up all the intestines. You see the bees on the rib cage as well. The part 2 video, because this is a long video, the part 2 video, we will show Candyman as with his chest piece open, or his coat open, exposing the chest piece, and then the second head sculpt with his mouth open and the bees coming out. So we will come back and I will tell you guys how this attaches to the body, and you will get a look at Candyman with his deformed chest coming out, with his second alternate head sculpt, and also Helen. So stay tuned.